talking about the $2,000 stimulus checks update on the third stimulus check. Direct deposit, if you have direct deposit, also information when you can expect your stimulus check. The second one, that's the $600. And we have great news on the stimulus checks and also a vote in the Congress also as well. So if you're interested in more stimulus check updates like this one, make sure that you subscribe to this channel using the subscribe button below if you're on YouTube, and give this video a like or a thumbs up, and share this video also with your friends and your family also. Okay, so what we're going to be discussing right now, we're going to be talking about the House of Representatives. So we have great news today. So the House of Representatives started a vote today around 5 p.m. Central Time, and reported by CNBC and many other sources. Fox News also reported this also as well, many other outlets. The House of Representatives, they passed a bill for $2,000 stimulus checks. Now they're leaving it up to the GOP-controlled Senate. So basically, what has happened is the House voted Monday to increase the second round of the federal direct payments to $2,000 as the Democrats embrace President Trump's calls to put more money in Americans' pockets. So if you watch our live stream yesterday, we played and we also watched Donald Trump's video that he made on Twitter, which was a recorded message that he did stating his demand that he wants us to get $2,000 stimulus checks and not the $600. The $600 stimulus checks was not enough. So basically, the vote that the House of Representatives made today, it would boost the stimulus checks in the pandemic relief and the government funding package to $2,000 stimulus checks, up from $600. So basically, what it would do is it would increase the $600 stimulus checks to $2,000. So, Treasury Secretary Steven Mnuchin had said today that if the $2,000 stimulus checks pass through the Senate also as well, that whoever, received the $600, that they would calculate the difference and they would send out, the IRS would send out an additional $1,400 to make a total of $2,000. Okay. So this vote in the House of Representatives, it came a day after Trump had signed the $2 trillion pandemic aid and full-year government spending bill into law. So he signed two bills into law. One was for government spending, and the other one was for the stimulus, which included the stimulus checks, the $600 stimulus checks. Now, the House passed the $2,000 stimulus checks. Basically, with just enough support, they got 2/3 majority. The chamber, they approved the $2,000 stimulus checks in a 275 yes votes to 134 no votes. And to my surprise, actually, there was a lot of Republicans who voted yes for the $2,000 stimulus checks. So the Democrats, they backed the bill by a 231-2 margin. 44 Republican representatives, they supported the measure. So 44 Republicans voted yes, and 130 Republicans voted no on the $2,000 stimulus checks. Now, a spokesman for Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell, the leader of the Senate, a Republican from Kentucky, he did not immediately respond to a request to comment on whether the chamber would vote on the House-passed bill. In a Sunday statement sharing Trump's decision to pass the year-end legislation, McConnell did not mention any plans to vote on larger payments. So McConnell has not made any comments yet, but Chuck Schumer, who is the Senate Minority Leader, he said today that he would try to pass the $2,000 stimulus checks in the Senate tomorrow. His statement that he made today was, quote, every Senate Democrat is much for this much needed increase in emergency financial relief, which can be approved tomorrow if no Republicans block it. There is no good reason for Senate Republicans to stand in the way. Last week, the president called the relief legislation passed by Congress a disgrace. He's talking about the $600 stimulus checks, and he waited days to sign the package. He opposed the bill, which even his own Treasury Secretary Stephen Mnuchin helped him negotiate before they passed it through Congress, and that included many of the White House's budget priorities too also as well. It included very little or too little direct money to Americans, and too much money was given out to foreign countries too also as well, which kind of made Donald Trump upset about that. That's why he refused to sign the bill for so many days. Now, when asked whether the $600 payments were still on course to go out starting this week, Secretary Stephen Mnuchin previously said he would make the payments on the same timeline that he discussed. So, again, if Congress approves the $2,000 stimulus checks, the Treasury will then add the already issued money. Okay, so basically they're going to make a deduction out of the $2,000. And in his explanation of his decision to sign the legislation Sunday, Trump noted that the House and potentially the Senate could move to approve larger cash deposits. However, most Republicans in the GOP-held Senate have opposed even a $1,200 check. So Americans, as the article is saying here, have waited for months and months and months for more help. Also, as many other programs have recently expired or were set to expire, like the unemployment pandemic aid was set to expire on the 26th, actually did expire on the 26th. And because Trump signed this bill, people will be getting $300 per week in extra unemployment money all the way until the middle of March. So they will be getting 10 weeks of extra unemployment, which it was supposed to be 11 weeks at first, but because Trump took so many days to sign the bill, that took off a week out of the 11 and made it 10. Okay. Now the ban on evictions that is set to expire on the 31st, which this bill would extend it a month through January 31st. So just cross your fingers, because a lot of people who were, in jeopardy of being evicted from their home have another month to figure out what they're going to do to pay their rent. But the relief bill includes rental assistance in there too also as well. So they can apply for rental assistance through their state. Now, the Democrats, they call the relief bill, the $600, they called it a down payment, and they plan to push more aid, more stimulus checks after President-elect Joe Biden takes office on January 20th. And they called for larger direct payments through aid talks. They jumped on the president's support for a $2,000 deposit. So all the Democrats jumped on President Trump's side when he said he wanted a $2,000 stimulus checks given out to Americans. Now, today, Joe Biden also told reporters that he backs the $2,000 stimulus check. So Joe Biden is in favor of the $2,000 stimulus checks. House Speaker Nancy Pelosi, she called on Trump to put more pressure on his party, that's the Republican Party, to back the $2,000 stimulus checks. She said today, before they took the vote, to reject this would be in denial of the economic challenges that people are facing. It would deny them, again, the relief they need. At least one Senate Republican, Marco Rubio of Florida, said he would support the larger payments. That's the $2,000 stimulus checks. He said in a statement today, I share many of my colleagues' concern about the long-term effects of additional spending, but we cannot ignore the fact that millions of working class families across the nation are still in dire need of relief. So that's kind of surprising to me that Rubio came out in favor of the $2,000 stimulus checks. So it's possible he will vote yes to the stimulus checks if Mitch McConnell, the leader of the Senate, decides to put this $2,000 stimulus check on the floor of the Senate for a vote. Meanwhile, Senator Bernie Sanders from Vermont, he threatened to delay the Senate's plan to override Trump's veto of the National Defense Authorization Act this week unless the chamber votes on the $2,000 stimulus checks. Now, the House Democrats, they already tried to pass these $2,000 stimulus checks by a unanimous consent Thursday, but the vote failed because Kevin McCarthy, who is the House Minority Leader, he did not approve it. So how unanimous consent vote works is that to pass a bill by unanimous consent, that means that every member of the House of Representatives has to vote yes. There cannot be any single member that says no, because if one person says no, then they cannot pass the bill by unanimous consent. So that's why the House of Representatives met again today. And instead of doing a unanimous consent vote, they just did a regular vote, which would require a 2/3 majority vote yes. And they did, and that passed today to also as well in the House of Representatives. So the $2,000 stimulus checks passed the House of Representatives today. So this is great news. Earlier this month, Senator Ron Johnson, Republican from Wisconsin, he rejected the $1,200 stimulus checks earlier, before they did, around the time when they were debating out the $600 bill, or before when they were doing a negotiation. So he rejected the $1,200 stimulus checks. But Senator Sanders and Senator Josh Hawley, who is a Republican from Missouri, they pushed for the $1,200 stimulus checks to be a part of the relief package that Trump signed 2 days ago. Chuck Schumer's move to put pressure on Senate Republicans comes as two GOP incumbents. So what is going on is that on January 5th, you have two Republican incumbent senators, David Perdue and Kelly Loeffler. They're going to compete in a runoff election, which is sort of a tiebreaker, January 5th, against two Democrat challengers also. So if the Democrats win that election, then they would have more votes in the Senate. If they don't, then the Senate will continue to be controlled by the Republicans, and the Republicans will maintain a majority in the Senate. So the $900 billion pandemic aid portion of the bill, it includes $600 checks, along with a $300 a week federal employment insurance supplement until mid-March. It extends the program that allows people who work in freelance gigs, or you work for Lyft or Uber or anything like that, you qualify. And self-employed workers also qualify to receive the extra $300 a week in federal unemployment insurance. Okay, so the bill, it also puts over $300 billion into support, mostly in forgivable Paycheck Protection Program loans. So it's kind of like grants they're giving out to small businesses. It also gives out $25 billion in rental assistance. So again, if you are in need of rental assistance, maybe because you lost your job, you have no income, whatever your situation is, you need to check with your state, check with your county, and also check with your city to see if they have a rental assistance program available, and you need to apply and sign up for it. Also, some good sources to get rental assistance would be from nonprofit organizations or charities, churches also offer these rental assistance programs. So you can Google them pretty easily by searching for rental assistance. Now, look up your state, look up your county, and also look up your city, because each three, each one of those three may have a separate rental assistance program. Or it may be the situation where one of the three does not offer one, but it's possible that one out of the three will offer a rental assistance program. And now the bill also includes $8 billion for a vaccine to be given out and $20 billion for Americans to get the vaccine for free. It also gives $82 billion of education and schools so that they can reopen, and $45 billion for transportation, airline payroll support, because the airline industry has been hurting, and they have laid off tens of thousands of workers who work for the airline. Now, the package that Trump had signed on Sunday night, it does not put money into state and local government relief. And that's one thing that, the Democrats and many Republicans support to prevent layoffs, because many of these jobs are run by the state and the local government. But the GOP leaders, meaning the Republicans or GOP, they went against, or they have opposed, approving aid for state and local governments without also creating the shield for businesses from pandemic-related lawsuits. And this is something that Senator and Senate leader Mitch McConnell was pushing for to be a part of the package. But in lieu of negotiations, it was left out, as well as state and local government money. The Democrats, they plan to push for state and local funds and another round of direct payments and other aid measures after Joe Biden takes office. So Joe Biden, he also plans to include another stimulus check, which will be a third stimulus check after he takes office. He plans on pushing Congress to approve another stimulus check, more unemployment aid, money for states and local governments, as well as other aid and assistance too also. So I know it took a while to get to the comments, but I will be looking at your comments and questions right now, actually, after I just say one thing. And remember to subscribe to this channel if you're on YouTube. It is our YouTube channel, How to Get an 800 Credit Score LLC. And when you subscribe, make sure you hit the bell notifications. So the subscribe button was a big red button below the video. The bell notification, you'll see a little bell. Hit the bell, hit the all notifications. That way you won't miss a single video as we make them here on this channel. And if you're on Facebook, make sure you share this video. If you're on YouTube, share this video everywhere with your friends and family, because this is important. If you want a $2,000 stimulus check, then what you need to do is you need to call your U.S. senators that represent your state and tell them that you want a $2,000 stimulus check, and tell them to vote yes for the $2,000 stimulus check. The reason why we are focusing on the Senate right now is because the House of Representatives have passed the $2,000 stimulus check. In other words, they had a 2/3 vote that voted yes for the $2,000 stimulus check. So now that it passed the House already, the bill for the $2,000 stimulus check is going to be sent over to the leader of the Senate, Mitch McConnell. It's going to be sent to his desk very soon, maybe tonight or tomorrow morning, and it will be up to him to make a vote on it. So there's going to be a few things that's going to be voted on in the Senate. The $2,000 stimulus checks may be voted on, and also a measure to override Trump's veto on the defense bill. Should be voted on too also. And they may be voting on some other things in the Senate tomorrow also as well. But that's what I know so far. So let's get to some of you guys' comments now, and I'll try to get to as many comments as I can, because I know in our live stream yesterday, I was not able to get to everyone because there's just so many comments. So first comment is coming from Diane White. Welcome to our chat. She says, "Are we getting $2,000?" I think it may be possible. It's likely. It's more likely now that we may get it, because I just heard of another Republican senator that's in favor of the $2,000 stimulus checks. That's Senator Marco Rubio from Florida. So he's another one that we can add to the list. And as I speak, Donald Trump is contacting the senators, the Republican senators of his Republican Party, to get them to vote yes on the $2,000 stimulus checks. So again, make sure that you contact your U.S. senators that represent your state. You can Google them by doing a simple Google search. Just type in your name of your state, like for example, Florida, U.S. senators, and the U.S. senators for your state will pop up. And you just once you find out their names, just write their names down, and then do another Google search with their name, like for example, Senator Marco Rubio's phone number. You type that in, and then Marco Rubio's phone number will pop up. So then you would have his number, then give him a call, and most likely they don't answer the phone anyways, but leave a voicemail. Make sure you leave a voicemail and telling him that you would like him to vote yes for the $2,000 stimulus checks. You want your $2,000 stimulus checks. I mean, if you do not want us $2,000 stimulus checks, then don't even bother with doing that. But if you do, that's what you need to do. We need to put the pressure on these senators. Keep the pressure on. Keep them on their toes, so that way, when it's time for them to vote on these $2,000 stimulus checks, we would get enough votes in the Senate. It will pass, and then President Trump will sign the $2,000 stimulus checks. So the way the bill is written from many sources that I've found out is that it's a $2,000 check for you, a $2,000 check for your spouse, loved one, or significant other, could be a roommate, and also $2,000 check for children and adult dependents. Okay, so that the dependents now include children and adults. When before in the CARES Act that was passed in March, when we all got the $1,200 stimulus check, it was only for dependents, young people, young persons, I should say. But now it's for dependent adults also. Okay. Alicia Hall says, when does the Senate vote? Well, I don't know exactly when they vote, but hopefully Mitch McConnell will receive the $2,000 stimulus check bill tonight or tomorrow morning. And hopefully when he receives that on his desk, he will schedule a vote in the Senate. So it's possible it could be tomorrow, according to Chuck Schumer, who is a senator and a majority leader in the Senate. He says they could vote on this as early as tomorrow. Now, according to the article that I just read from CNBC, Senator Bernie Sanders, who is a senator from Vermont, he says that he plans on holding up the defense bill, okay, until we get a vote on the $2,000 stimulus check. And I hope he does hold it up. I really does, because this $2,000 stimulus check, it needs to go to the floor for a vote. I mean, that $600 check is ridiculous. It is so small, and it really does nothing for the people that have waited all of these months. Okay. So You know what to do. Make sure you contact your U.S. senators. Cynthia Brown says the Senate will throw it out. They are still working, so could care less about the American people. Well, if we have enough people putting pressure on these Republican senators, then the Republicans will not throw it out because they're the only people that will throw this out. Okay. Mitch McConnell, the Republican leader of the Senate, he would be the one to throw it out. Nobody else. Okay. Not the Democrats. The Republican leader of the Senate will be the one to throw it out if it gets thrown out because he's the leader of the Senate and he's the only one that can throw it out and not decide to bring this to the floor for a vote. Okay. He can prevent the Senate from voting on this, or he can schedule a time for the Senate to vote. So it will be up to the Republicans whether or not this passes. Okay, so what else we have here? Jessica Wells says, I hope so. I need to get caught up on bills. Yes, I agree with you there, Jessica. Like-minded people. April House says, I agree. Also, Sophia Waldowski says, when we get to getting the money. Well, the $600 stimulus checks has passed both the House of Representatives and the Senate, and Donald Trump did sign the bill on Sunday evening. So we can expect to start receiving the stimulus checks as soon as around January 6th. They should be hitting people's bank accounts. As long as you have direct deposit set up with the IRS, you should expect to start receiving it. Now, we do not know what type of payment schedule the IRS is going to have in order to get these $600 stimulus checks out to everyone. We don't know if they're going to go by income, like the lowest income first, like they did the CARES Act back in March. But I believe that they should start with the people who make the lowest income first. And also, the people first on to get the stimulus check should be also people who are on Social Security and SSI, railroad retirement benefits. People, those people should get the stimulus checks first, and then they should go by income. Like whoever makes, $10,000 more a year should get it next, and then after that, then whoever makes $30,000 a year, then after that, whoever makes $40,000, and so on and so on. That way, you get the people who need it the most to get it first. I mean, that's just the way I would do it if it was up to me, but it's not. Chuck Brush says not going to happen. Well, hey, if you don't want it to happen, it won't happen. But if you really want it to happen, you can make it happen. Contact your U.S. senators, live in your state. If you want a $2,000 check, tell them that. Call them up on the phone, leave them a voicemail, and let them know. Tell them. I'm sure if they get enough people calling them and telling them that they want a $2,000 stimulus check, a lot of these senators, they're going to vote yes for the $2,000 stimulus check. And that's the way Congress pretty much works. But we can't have, why would all these people be complaining later on and saying, Congress threw it out and they did not pass the $2,000 stimulus checks when they did not even contact their senator. They didn't even contact the senator in their state. They didn't even call them. They didn't write them. They didn't send no email. Nothing. And so how can you complain later on and say you didn't get a check or the $2,000 check did not pass when you did not try to pass it? These senators work for us. Okay. That's what they were elected to do. If we put that kind of pressure on our senators in the Senate, they will pass the bill. Okay. So that's what we need to do, people. I've been saying it a lot and I'm going to keep on saying it. Contact your U.S. senators that represent your state. Let them know to vote yes on the $2,000 stimulus check. Okay. Now, if you don't want a $2,000 stimulus check or you don't need one, then fine, But if you need a stimulus check and you feel a $2,000 stimulus check would help you pay your bills and help your family, then make sure you contact them and let them know that you want a $2,000 check. Okay, we have Cynthia Bateman Schaefer says, I don't know what to say, except things will work out eventually. Yes, I agree. Things will work out eventually. Pam Mick says they won't pass it, probably. Well, I've heard from many different sources also. These are political sources that say the ratio that's set up in the House. Okay, I'm talking about the ratio, not the amount of Democrats in the House or the amount of Republicans in the House of Representatives, but I'm talking about the ratio. The ratio of which the $2,000 stimulus checks was passed in the House is what we can expect in the Senate. We can expect about 1/3 of the Republicans to vote yes in the Senate and 2/3 of the Republicans to vote no in the Senate if they put this $2,000 check up for a vote. And we could also expect all of the Democrats to vote yes in the Senate, or if not, most of the Democrats in the Senate to vote yes. So if we get, say, for example, we get 47 Democrats to vote yes in the Senate, and we get 13 Republicans to vote yes in the Senate, then we have 60 votes according to the filibuster rule. That means that the $2,000 stimulus check will pass. Okay. And I have a feeling we're going to get more than 60 votes. I mean, I could be wrong, but it seems like each and every day, more Republicans are coming out to the public and the press and media and making statements in support of the $2,000 stimulus checks. Before today, we did not have Marco Rubio saying that he will vote yes. He's in favor of the $2,000 stimulus check. And before Sunday, we did not have Lindsey Graham, who is also a Republican, saying that he will vote yes. He's in favor of the $2,000 stimulus checks, or Republican Josh Hawley, who is also in favor of the $2,000 stimulus check. Or before today, we did not have Mitt Romney, who said he's also in favor of the $2,000 stimulus checks, and he will vote yes for the $2,000 stimulus checks. So we have quite a few Republicans already that are on board. And as I speak, Donald Trump is trying to get more Republicans on board to vote yes on the $2,000 stimulus checks in the Senate. So it's getting more and more likely every day that these $2,000 stimulus checks will pass the Senate. Okay. One person says, I can't see the ad. Okay, I don't know what ad you're talking about there, but it's probably, if you've seen any ad, it was probably just about to contact your U.S. senators, tell them to vote yes for the $2,000 stimulus check. What third, says Rafaela. What third? Well, basically, it will be the third stimulus check. Joe Biden is planning on getting that passed, or pushing Congress to pass a third stimulus check. Because, see, if the $2,000 stimulus check passes, or when it passes, for those that got the $600 already hit their bank account, then they would get an additional $1,400, and that would add up to the $2,000, because this is what the vote was today all about. The vote is to increase the $600 stimulus check to $2,000, a $2,000 stimulus check. It was a vote to increase it. It's not a vote for another stimulus check of $2,000. No, that's not what the vote was for. The vote was for to increase it from $600 to $2,000. So if you happen to receive your $600 stimulus check already, say it's January 6th and you got it, and then say Congress passes the $2,000 stimulus check, say a few days before that, then what would happen is the IRS will end up sending you another $1,400. Okay. So that's pretty much how it would work. Okay. And the third stimulus check, well, Joe Biden plans on giving us a third stimulus check. So that would be the third check. Because we already got one stimulus check in March that was passed through the CARES Act by Congress, a $1,200 stimulus check. That was the first one. The second one is the $600 stimulus check that Donald Trump had signed into law on Sunday. Now, the third stimulus check would be Joe Biden when he comes into office on January 21st. And when he pushes Congress, then they would vote all over again and try to pass a third. That would be a third stimulus check. Okay. Okay, but did this $2,000 checks pass the Senate? The Senate had not voted yet. Normally, the process with passing any type of bill, such as a stimulus check, is that one chamber of Congress votes first. Okay, so in this situation, the House of Representatives voted first. Okay, next up, the Senate may vote after that. Okay, now with the $600 stimulus check, it was the same process. They did it on the same day, but the House of Representatives, they voted first on the bill for the $600, and then the Senate voted on it afterward. And then it passed the House, it also passed the Senate, and it went to Donald Trump's for him to sign, but it was late getting to Trump. It took a couple of days, about 3 days, longer than it should have taken to get to Trump for Trump to sign it. Trump went to Mar-a-Lago. They sent the $600 stimulus check bill to Mar-a-Lago, where he was, for him to sign it 3 days late. But he took a long time to sign it. He took a few days with it. And he made a video on Twitter stating that he refuses to sign it unless Congress changes that $600 stimulus check and changes it to $2,000. In other words, unless Congress changes the bill from a $600 stimulus check and gives everyone $2,000 stimulus check instead, he refuses. He's not going to sign it, he said. And he also said that billions of dollars was being given out to foreign countries. So if they could give billions of dollars out to foreign countries and museums and things like that, for example, to count how many fish are in the ocean in Mexico, that, or they can, spend billions of dollars on trying to find out what happens when a tree dies. These ridiculous reasons to donate billions and millions of dollars to, or Pakistan, billions of dollars to Pakistan, then, they should not be giving the American people only $600. They should, according to Trump, it was America first, right? So that, in that situation, that's not putting America first. That's not putting the American people first at all. That's giving billions of dollars to countries overseas and museums, the Kennedy Center, things like that, and also big corporations, and telling the American people, well, you guys can only get $600, one $600 stimulus check, which is wrong, which I talked about last night, and it kind of got me fired up too, also as well. you know. So it's moving on. Angie says not going to happen. We never got the second one. Okay, Angie, we are getting the second one. The bill passed the House and the Senate, and Donald Trump signed it into law on Sunday evening. So we will be getting the second one. Treasury Secretary Steven Mnuchin says we should get the second one. Checks should start hitting people's bank accounts starting January 6th. And yes, so we are getting the second one. So that's like incorrect right there. Okay, now where are we at? Checks go out this week if passed. No, I don't think that this week. If the $2,000 stimulus check passes the Senate, they're not going to go out this week. Not this week. I think they will go out within 10 days of the bill passing, right? Because the $600, it should be hitting people's bank accounts on the 6th. So they should be going out around the 4th. Okay, let's see what all the comments that we have here. $600 is okay. Better than nothing. But that's not going to help out most Americans. You're right. It's not going to help out most Americans, especially ones that are suffering, homeless, in poverty. $600 will not pay most people's rent in the majority of states. Okay, it just won't. It's not. So, they could have done a lot better. Okay, I mean, how do you go from getting a $1,200 check, passed back in March, to all the way down to a $600 check passed after 300,000 Americans passed away? And these losses of family members and friends, there's no price tag on that. Okay. Then you have another 30 million plus Americans who filed for unemployment or lost their jobs. Then you have the homeless rate that increased tremendously. Poverty increased tremendously. Tens of thousands of people are rushing the food lines and the food bank in Texas and many other states. People lost their homes. So many things, so many ways that people were affected by this pandemic, that a $600 stimulus check is just like a slap in the face to all of us. Okay, and it needs to be changed. And I agree with Trump. It should be raised to $2,000. Okay. So again, what you guys need to do is contact your U.S. senators who represent your state. Call them on the phone. Tell them you want a $2,000 stimulus check. Tell them to vote yes for the $2,000 stimulus check. Okay. So Tracy Knight says, sneaky. The Democrat-controlled House passed a bill so that the Republican-controlled Senate will not pass it. And when we are on the brink of a Senate-controlled vote, how clever of the Democrats being here in Georgia. I bet they will have a end. I don't know if that's continued there, Tracy. Okay. Okay, I see I think I see what you're saying here. Yeah, well, they jumped on it right away. When Trump made the announcement and he said that he refuses to sign the bill that has the $600 stimulus check unless Congress changes that amount from $600 to $2,000. As soon as Trump said that, The Nancy Pelosi jumped on it. Okay, Nancy Pelosi from the House of Representatives. Many of the other Democrats jumped on it right away and agreed with Trump on that. That Americans really don't need a $600 check. They need a $2,000 check or better. You know, but one thing you did not see Mitch McConnell. Where was Mitch McConnell at? When Trump said that, where was Mitch McConnell? Did he jump? Did he jump up and say, "Yeah, I agree with Trump. Americans should get a $2,000 check"? No, Mitch McConnell has been silent, hasn't said a word yet. Okay, now we do have that runoff election in Georgia. Okay, so all of this, yes, that is going to affect Georgia, but you know what? Hey, if the Republicans lose votes in Georgia because they do not pass the $2,000 stimulus check, and say that Republicans lose the election in Georgia and they lose the control of the Senate, and that's their fault, right? They should have came out backing the American people. They should have came out fighting strong for the American people. They should have came out and said, as soon as Trump said, I want the $2,000 stimulus check for all Americans, the Republicans should have came out right away, including Mitch McConnell and all of them in the Senate. They should have came out and said, yes, let's give more money to the American people. The $600 is not enough. But did they do that? No. So if they lose the election in Georgia on January 5th, that's their fault. 100% their fault. They have nobody to blame but themselves. Okay. If they would have been fighting for the American people, maybe they would have won the election. Let's see what else Tracy has to say. Okay. This is continued here in this comment. Okay. She says, I bet they will have a new commercial up tomorrow slamming Perdue and Kelly for not helping the American people. Very, very clever Democrats. Yeah, the Republicans, Kelly and Perdue, they brought it on themselves. If they lose this election, this their fault. Okay, they should have came out and said, yeah, I support the people. I want the people to get the $2,000 stimulus checks. And these people are watching. They're watching in Georgia, and best believe there are plenty of patriots down in Georgia. Best believe there are plenty of Trump voters down in Georgia. And if Donald Trump said, I want all Americans to get a $2,000 stimulus check, you can best believe that the majority of these Trump voters in Georgia are going to follow suit. They are going to follow Donald Trump. They are also going to be asking Perdue and Kelly if she or he, if they are going to vote to give them the $2,000 checks. And you know what? If they don't answer the people on the $2,000 stimulus checks, if they don't comment on it, if they come out against it, if they vote no in the Senate to the $2,000 stimulus check, guess what's going to happen on January 5th with those Trump voters? They're probably not going to vote for Perdue and Kelly. And you know what? They're probably going to say, well, we better all voting for the Democrats. At least we could get a $2,000 stimulus check. Voting for these Republicans, they're not giving us nothing. Why should we vote for them? And like I said, if they lose the election, if the Republicans lose on January 5th, it's 100% their fault. No one else but them. Okay? Babak Lawari says, we have to stop announcing bills that pass the House and not the Senate. Okay. No, we don't, because, it's news. It's news that everybody needs to know. So we need to announce it, It's not a secret. It's good news. It reflects what is going on in our Congress, and the people have the right to know what's going on in Congress. So we should keep announcing bills that pass the House as well as the Senate. We should announce, all the bills. I mean, how would you know what passed through Congress if it wasn't announced, right? It has to be announced, as the people have a right to know. So I don't agree with that, Babak. Shanika Harper says, replying to Babak, no. Okay. Let's see what else we got. Brenda Gardner says seeing is believing. Yep, that's true. Seeing is believing. So, I mean, it's up to these Republicans in the Senate now. The ball is in their court. The ball is in Mitch McConnell's court. It's up to them whether or not they're going to come out and support the American people, whether or not they're going to come out and fight for the American people. Okay, for all these people that are struggling, homeless, in poverty, hungry, millions of children who don't have enough to eat. Okay, are they going to stand up for them, or are they going to say no to their $2,000 stimulus check, right? Are they just not going to make a comment to the media? Or are they just not going to do anything at all? Okay, so it's pretty much going to be up to them. So will we get the 2,000? Rebecca Thomas says it's possible. I believe that as every day passes, it's becoming more and more likely that the $2,000 stimulus check will pass the Senate, because more Republicans are coming out and making public statements in support of the $2,000 stimulus check and in support of Donald Trump also as well. Okay. Lamberto says when? Okay, are you referring to the $2,000 stimulus check bill, or are you referring to the $600 stimulus checks? I'm not sure, but the $600 should be hitting people's bank accounts by January 6th. The $2,000 stimulus check just passed the House of Representatives today with a majority yes vote, and it will be sent over to the Senate very soon. Okay, what else do we have here? Adrena says see. Oh, Adrena says for those who. Okay, I'm not sure what you're referring to there either. John says it won't pass the Senate. Oh, well, we've yet to see. You know, you will be surprised. It may pass the Senate. It may pass the Senate. April says, how much are we getting for kids? I believe it's $600. That's what we know for sure. People are getting for child dependents. Okay, $600. So $600 for you, $600 for your spouse. So $600 for adults, $600 for children dependents. Okay. Where are we at here? Katina says how much for kids. I already answered those. I answered that. Where are we at? Adrena says, for those receiving unemployment benefits, do they have to reapply because of the lapse in benefits? Well, I would say you should check with your state unemployment. They have a website. You should check there and see what they want you to do. You know, find out what they want you to do. If they want you to reapply because of the lapse, I mean, we're talking about only a few days, maybe a lapse of almost a week, but not quite a week. So they may count it as a lapse of 1 week, full lapse of benefits. So you want to check with them and find out what they want you to do concerning your unemployment benefits. Pam Best says how much for kids? $600. Okay. Where are we at? Okay. We got more comments here. Easy, welcome back to the chat, brother. I haven't seen you in a while, Easy. AZ from YouTube says, I'm in Georgia. Early voting polls open for 2 Senate races on January 5th. Democrats must win both seats to get monthly stimulus, $1,200 or more. Well, he said monthly. Wow. Avoid evictions. Keep Obama affordable health care. Well, I don't see. Okay. I don't see a monthly check passing, right? I see a one-time check passing, passing the House and the Senate. I do see that happening. I mean, I'm talking about even if the Democrats win both seats in or both elections in Georgia on January 5th, right? That would give them the majority in the Senate, and then Kamala Harris is right there to break the tie. That's why they would have the majority in the Senate, and Mitch McConnell would no longer be the leader in the Senate, who's a Republican, and you would have the leader in the Senate would be Chuck Schumer, who is a Democrat. So what would happen is it would be a lot easier to put these bills on the floor, for a vote. Like, for example, the HEROES Act that was passed the House of Representatives back in May. If Chuck Schumer was the leader in the Senate, he would have brought the HEROES Act up for a vote in the Senate, okay, like almost immediately without hesitation. Okay, but because we had Mitch McConnell for the leader in the Senate, he did not bring it up for any vote. He pretty much threw it out. As soon as he got the bill on his desk, he threw it out. Okay. So that's the difference. Democrats will have the power to bring bills to the floor for a vote. Okay. And because they would have the majority in the Senate, that means that they would need less help from the Republicans to vote a bill into law. Okay. But thanks for joining us, Easy. Appreciate that. John DeRosier says yes, it's $600 for kids. Yep. It's $600 for kids. Okay, this is interesting. Ginger McGovern says, I wish they would have only matched wages and not go extra. Okay, let me know, people, if you agree with Ginger on her statement. She says she wished they would have only matched wages and not go extra. Okay, Ginger, are you saying that people should not get a stimulus check or what? I mean, because the unemployment does not match their wages. They're only getting $300 in extra unemployment every week, right? And unless you work in McDonald's and you make, unless someone works in McDonald's and they make $300 a week, or Burger King or something, that's not going to match their wages, and people have lost jobs that were high paying jobs. Okay. And they're not making the same money now on unemployment as they were working on their job. On their job, they were making a lot more money. Some people worked in computers, computer engineers, and lost their job because of the pandemic. Some people were managers. Some people worked in the corporate world, had corporate jobs. So that $300 a week is just hardly nothing. So I see what you're saying, though. Some Americans may match what they were making at work with the small, measly $300 a week extra unemployment. It's possible. Now you're talking about not go extra. Okay. Are you saying that people should not get a stimulus check then? Because stimulus check would be like extra, right? If unemployment could barely match their wages, but I guess it doesn't apply to everyone, that statement, because not everyone will match their wages with the money they will make on unemployment. And unemployment, mind you, is only till March 14th. So they're only getting 10 weeks. They already missed a week in payment. So they went 1 week with no money at all. So anyway, let me know, people, do you agree with Ginger McGovern's statement? Where are we at here in the comments? Yeah, Janelle has said $2,000 for kids once they pass it in the Senate. Yep. Yeah, it's $2,000 for every adult, and $2,000 for children, and $2,000 also for adult dependents. All right. John says it has to go to the Senate. Yep, it has to go. Any bill that is passed in the House of Representatives has to go to the Senate. Okay. Unless the bill was already passed by the Senate already. Ronald, how's it going there, buddy? Happy holidays to you, and everyone else. Happy holidays to you. I know I haven't said that yet, but I hope you did enjoy your Christmas holiday, and I hope you are enjoying the rest of the Christmas and holiday season also as well. If you celebrate Christmas, Merry Christmas. If you celebrate Kwanzaa, Happy Kwanzaa. I hope everyone is enjoying it. Caroline says 600 for everyone, kids, adults. Yep. You got it. Let's see what else we have here. Okay, John says he's out. Okay, have a good one, John. Thanks for joining. Caroline says it would never pass the Senate. Well, let's see. Let's give it a chance. Give it a chance. Contact your U.S. senator that represents your state. Every state has 2 U.S. senators. Contact both of them that represent your state. And tell them you want a $2,000 stimulus check. Tell them to vote yes for the $2,000 stimulus checks. Now, this is something we need to do, right? If we want the $2,000 stimulus check to pass the Senate, okay, we need to do that. We need to be calling Mitch McConnell and telling him, hey, put this on the floor for a vote. Okay. So unless we do that, people, they're going to ignore us. They're going to ignore us. Okay. And we're not going to get what we need or what we want. So we definitely need to do that. Okay, EZ says Georgia has 2 Senate races. Vote Democrats, John Ossoff and Raphael Warnock. Send donations to Stacey Abrams. Fairfight.com for legal fund and fight voter suppression. Okay. Well, there you have. I mean, for those of you who plan on voting Democrat in the Georgia runoff Senate races, there you have. You have a contact there where to send donations to, Stacey Abrams. Thank you for providing us with that information, Easy. Appreciate that. Devon says he just got off work. Sorry he's late. So the $2,000 is passed. Yeah, it passed the House of Representatives today. Okay. And I believe it's a good chance it will pass the Senate too, also as well. If Mitch McConnell brings it to the floor for a vote, if Mitch McConnell brings it to the floor for a vote, I believe that it will pass. Okay. Ellen says in the House. Yep, that's right. We just talked about that also. Devon says, why is everyone saying it got passed? Because it did. It got passed in the House of Representatives. That's why it's all over the internet. That's why it's all over the media, the television, and everything. It passed the House of Representatives. Now it also needs to pass the Senate. So we will see what happens in the Senate. All right. Okay. Yep. Deborah, welcome to the chat. Deborah Anderson says it has to pass through the Senate now. Yep, exactly. Has to be passing. Okay, Janelle says $2,000 passed in the House. Tomorrow will be in the Senate. Okay, thank you for the info, Janelle. Appreciate that. Devon says, so when will we for sure get a confirmation? Well, basically, we will know. If it passes the Senate, believe me, we will know. Just like the media announced that it passed in the House, They will also announce when it passes in the Senate. Okay, so then we will definitely get a confirmation. And then after it passes in the Senate, all that's left for it to happen is Donald Trump needs to sign it. And I believe Donald Trump will sign this one. Okay. Yeah, the bill does not include getting rid of money that's being given out to foreign countries. And yes, it does not stop the government from giving out millions of dollars to the Kennedy Center or museums, but it does give Trump part of what he asked for, which Donald Trump, he asked that the $600 stimulus check be increased to $2,000 stimulus checks, and $2,000 for adults and $2,000 for dependents. Okay. So pretty much, I think the confirmation would be when it passes the Senate, because I think it's a no-brainer. I think Donald Trump will sign it. I don't think Donald Trump would wait as long as he did to sign the $2,000 stimulus check, because the $600 was an insult to the American people. Okay, that's what it was. It was an insult. The American people deserve more. You deserve more. You deserve better than that. Okay, for going through a pandemic. I'm sure many of you have had friends and families who have suffered, who have been infected during this pandemic, maybe even have passed away during this pandemic. So you deserve better than that. Okay. Okay, where are we at? Okay, Ellen Keller says, don't know that is, but we'll go to the Senate tomorrow for vote. Okay, so we have confirmation from Janelle and Ellen, who says that it will go to the Senate tomorrow for a vote. So that's good news, guys. It's going to be voted on tomorrow in the Senate. So again, I can't say this enough. Okay, if you want a $2,000 stimulus check in your bank account next month, then what you need to do is call your U.S. senators who represent your state and tell them you want a $2,000 stimulus check. Tell them to vote yes on the $2,000 stimulus check. Now, most of the pressure should be on the Republicans. Most of the pressure should be on the Republicans. Why that is? Because the Republicans are the ones who are most likely to say no to giving us an increase in our stimulus checks. Okay. But, however, we need all the senators on board here. Not only the Republicans, we need the Democrats. Because, yes, even though most of the Democrats will vote yes to the $2,000 stimulus check, if not all of the Democrats will in the Senate, and the independents also as well. But a few of them may say no, may vote no. Okay. Because that's what happened in the House of Representatives today. Actually, did any of the Democrats vote no to the $2,000 check today? Did any of the Democrats vote no in the House of Representatives? Only a couple? Yeah, that's right. Okay, so I stand to be corrected. 2 Democrats did vote no in the House of Representatives. So we may expect something like that to happen in the Senate also. Maybe 1 or 2 Democrats may say no to it. But a lot of Republicans will say no. A lot. A huge amount of Republicans. The majority of Republicans will say no. I believe it's possible that 2/3 of the Republicans will say no. But we don't need 2/3 of the Republicans to pass the bill. All we need is like between 13. We need about 13 Republicans to vote yes. As long as all of the Democrats and the independents, well, actually, as long as all the Democrats vote yes and the independents vote yes. Okay. So that's where we stand right now. But keep the pressure on these congressmen and congresswomen because we need them to pass this. Easy says Georgia holds the key. Yeah, you're right, Easy. And you know what? Mitch McConnell realizes that. That is why before they put that $600 stimulus check into the bill, guess what? The bill had no stimulus check at all in it. The deal was that they were going to present this in the Senate with no stimulus check. Can you believe that? Now, you had some senators who came out, like Senator Bernie Sanders from Vermont. He came out and gave a speech on the floor of the Senate supporting the idea of giving people at least a $1,200 stimulus check. And so did Senator Republican Josh Hawley. He also came out and stated that Congress should at least give the American people a $1,200 stimulus check. Because you know what? Before that, they were not even planning on giving us any stimulus check at all. The deal was no stimulus check, but then they put it into the agreement, and then the House voted on it, and then the Senate voted on it. It got passed by Congress. Donald Trump finally signed it on Sunday evening. Okay. So, in the time when there was no stimulus check in the agreement or bill, Mitch McConnell had realized that there was a Senate election coming up on January 5th, and that two Senate seats would determine whether or not he gets to keep his job as leader of the Senate, and whether it will also determine whether or not the Republicans would keep the majority control of the Senate. So therefore, he realized that there was strong support for stimulus checks amongst the Trump voters and also among the Republican voters in Georgia. As a matter of fact, Senator Republican Loeffler, she was given a rally one day, and one of I don't know if he was a Republican or a Trump voter, he pressed her on the stimulus checks and whether or not we would be getting a stimulus check. Okay, so Mitch McConnell did a calculation there, and he decided to include at least a $600 stimulus check in there. He had decided to agree along with that. So there we have it. So Georgia does hold the key. You're right, Easy. Okay, so some people have said it's not going to pass. It's not going to pass. How many people think that this $2,000 stimulus check will pass the Senate? Let me know inside of the comments. Okay, how many people believes that it will pass? Okay, trying to skim through the comments because if I skipped your comment, it may be because you're asking a question that has been asked before and I have already answered it. So please forgive me if I skipped your comments. I'm just trying to get through these comments because it's so many. I mean, in our Facebook page on Facebook, many of you are from there and are watching and joining us in our live stream now from the Facebook stimulus check page. And we have over 48,000 people who are fans on our Facebook page. So We have a lot of comments, some coming from there, some coming from our stimulus check group, our political debates group, and our other Facebook groups, and also Periscope and YouTube, of course. Okay, where we at? Oh, okay, here we go. We got a comment. Something someone else not said before. Babak Lawari said $2,000 stimulus is never going to pass the Senate. This is all a show from Trump to make himself look good to the hillbillies because he know it's not going to pass. Wow, that's a good perspective. But I've heard that opinion before. That's possible. You know, who knows what Trump's motive is? Okay, for coming out and saying, you know, that we should all get a $2,000 stimulus check and, you know, supporting it. But to me, it doesn't really matter what his motive is. What matters is that people get the help that they need. To me, you know, and if the $2,000 stimulus check passes the Senate and the House, then, you know, people will get more help than from a $600 check, which hardly does not help anyone, really. You know, it doesn't help many people with rent. Most Americans cannot even pay their rent with the 600. Okay. Naomi's right. Yep, it has not passed the Senate yet, but I have a strong feeling it's going to pass the Senate. Okay, I mean, I'm hoping that I'm not wrong, but I believe if Mitch McConnell puts the $2,000 stimulus check up for a vote in the Senate, I believe it's a good chance that it will pass. Tommy Stewart says Republicans will turn it down. Well, a lot of Republicans will turn it down. But if we have that type of ratio that we had today, where 1/3 of Republicans said yes, voted yes, then we pretty much got it. It's pretty much in the bag in the Senate. Okay. But I believe that we still need to contact our senators. And I'm just going to keep saying that. I mean, over and over and over. Okay. Until I don't know. Until when? I don't know. Because after the, you know, if they pass a $2,000 stimulus check and Joe Biden comes into office on January, you know, 20th, 21st, and he pushes Congress to make another bill with another stimulus check, then I'm gonna be back on here with y'all saying this to you again. You need to contact your U.S. senators. Tell them to pass this $2,000 stimulus check and stop playing around, okay? Devon says, let's pray Republicans have a change of heart. Yes, let's all pray that Republicans have a change of heart. Let's pray that Republicans can find it in their heart, that Republicans in the Senate can find it in their hearts to have consideration, to have compassion for the American people who are struggling, who live on the streets, who live in a cardboard box, who live in a shelter, who go to the food banks for their food every day, who eat food that have labels on it that have expired because they have no choice to survive, who have lost their homes, who have lost their jobs. Let's pray that these Republicans have a change of heart when they vote for the $2,000 stimulus check in the Senate. Jacqueline says, what about healthcare workers? Well, healthcare workers, that's a good question. One thing that has not been included in the bill, the $600 stimulus check bill, is hazard pay. It's nowhere in the bill. Okay, it has not been included. Now, if you want me to put a link to a copy of the bill in the description of this live stream or something, just let me know inside of the comments, and I will definitely do that, because I'm thinking about doing that, because I'm sure some of you, I know not all of you, will want to read through this bill. It's a monster heap of a bill, people. It's over 5,500 pages long. Okay. Babak says, is the $300 unemployment boost going to be retrograded? You mean retroactive? You mean? No, it's not. Nothing in there. None of the language in the bill indicates that it will be retroactive. Um, the people have already lost 1 week of unemployment boost because Donald Trump took so long to sign the bill. He didn't sign the bill till Sunday night. So therefore, people lost 1 week. It's supposed to be 11 weeks of $300 unemployment boost. Now it's only 10 weeks because Trump took almost a week to sign the bill. So people lost time. They lost a full week of unemployment money. Okay, Janelle's confirming that the House or the Senate will vote tomorrow. That's awesome. That's awesome. I really hope that they bring this to the floor for a vote. And get this done for sure. And again, people, you need to contact your U.S. senators who represent your state and tell them, call them, email them if you have to. If you don't like talking on the phone, email them. But call them and leave them a voicemail, because they hardly ever answer the phone, and tell them you want them to vote yes on the $2,000 stimulus check. Tell them, I want my $2,000 stimulus check. Demand it from them. You have authority. You know why? They work for you. You don't work for them. We don't work for the senators. We don't work for Congress. And whoever told you that we work for Congress, they got it wrong. Okay? They work for you. And you need to call them out for that. Let them know. Let them know, hey, you work for me. If it wasn't for me, you wouldn't have a job. Because my vote and the votes of other people is what got you elected, what got you your job in the first place. So if you want to keep that job, I suggest that you vote yes for this $2,000 stimulus check. That's a good way to put it, right? But yeah, I mean, that's just an example. But people, you need to put the pressure on them. Okay, let them know. Let them know what's up. Let them know that the people, this government is supposed to be for the people and by the people. Okay, it's not for the Congress. It's not for the senators. It's for the people. They work for you. Let them know. Michael. Okay, I think I've seen your name somewhere in one of our live streams in the past. I'm not sure, but if not, welcome to our live stream, Michael. I appreciate you joining with us. And Michael is coming from YouTube, and he says, come on, Atlanta, Fulton, and DeKalb County, represent and vote early. Yes. I mean, if we all need to get out to vote, need to go get out and vote. If you have to vote by mail, then vote by mail. If you're going down there, then go down there, but you need to vote. Elections coming up January 5th. Early voting already started, so we need a big turnout on January 5th. Ellen's Keller, I get this question a lot. A lot of people have messaged me from our Facebook group and our Facebook page saying that they never got the first stimulus check. And it's true, Ellen. A lot of people did not get their first stimulus check. So if you did not get the first stimulus check, and you need to contact the IRS, and between them, they can let you know the reason why you did not get it. And if you did qualify, then and there was just another reason why you didn't get it, maybe you change your address, or maybe you change your bank account information, maybe you got a new bank, then you need to work that out with the IRS, so that way you can at least receive the first stimulus check. You know, and you can only get this accomplished by contacting them, by contacting the IRS. So that's why I tell everyone to contact the IRS. As a matter of fact, you know what I'm going to do? I'm just going to put some contact information on the page, so that way, if you did not receive your first stimulus check, then this will give you some more information, so that way you can at least have someone to contact. So let's see if I can pull this up here on the screen, because I know I found a good contact for the IRS, because I know the IRS has a separate phone number where you should contact if you did not receive the first stimulus check. Yeah, I know. I'm looking. What to do? Okay, what to do if your stimulus check has not yet arrived? Oh, okay, that's a good one to check out. Yeah, I'm looking for that phone number because I usually get the phone number every single. Oh, you have it, Janelle? Just give me the phone number. Let me type that in the chat, so that way. Everyone could have it. But while she's working on getting me that phone number, I'm going to continue going through the chat here, going through the comments, so that way I can get to as many of your comments as possible. Devon says, any change to the unemployment, or are they voting for that? It's just an extra $300 a week. Okay. I would have to go through the bill and see if there's any other changes, but as far as I know, there isn't anything important that's really been changed. Leanne said I did. Oh, okay. You referring to, so you did contact your senators? Great. That's awesome. That's what everyone needs to do, especially if you want a $2,000 stimulus check. Oh, okay. I got a phone number here, contact number. If you did not receive the first stimulus check. Say that again?
November 15th was the last date. Everybody's supposed to get in there and get their first check.
Yeah, Janelle is telling me November 15th was the last day that everyone should have gotten there to get the first stimulus check. But you should call. I know a lot of people have not even gotten it. So I'm just going to put that up on the screen here. Okay, I put it in the comments. So if you're watching the comments, you should be able to see it. So I might as well put all the comments here up on the screen. That way, all of you can see what's being said. Okay. Babak says that's crazy that some people never got this $1,200 stimulus check. Yeah, it is very crazy. Unbelievable.
If you have not yet received your first stimulus payment from May, you can check the status using IRS to get my payment tool.
Yeah. Okay. So Janelle just brought up something that's really important. If you did not get your first stimulus check, you could use the IRS Get My Payment tool online. You'd have to go on the irs.gov/EIP. Okay. And look around for the link for the Get My Payment tool, and you should be able to find it. Okay. Octavius. What's this? Octavius Texas Made says, Mitch! Exclamation point. Yeah, you're right. He's something else. So that's Octavius from YouTube. Thank you for joining us. Appreciate you. Yeah, Mitch is something else. Keish White is saying the Get My Payment tool is deactivated. Okay. She says it's deactivated. I don't know. We'll have to look more into that. But I hope it's not. If so, then you need to call the IRS at the phone number that I put in the chat. If it passes, where will we get it? Well, I think you will get it. If it passes or when it passes, you should get it within 14 days, I believe. That's after the President Trump signs it into law. Jacqueline Robinson says, I never got the money for my kids last time. Okay. You need to check with the IRS because there could be something going on behind the scenes there. I mean, you need to just check with the IRS and make sure no one else did not claim them as a dependent. That could be an issue for you, why you did not get the money for your kids the last time, or something else went on. As long as the kids were under the required age that's required by the IRS for you to receive the dependent payment for them. I know these comments are just coming in. They're just rolling in so fast. I'm trying to keep up with you guys, but please bear patience with me. Octavia says, send some liquor and get some girls McConnell's way for the next 24 hours. Yeah, maybe that'll work. Hey, if you guys want to do it. Go ahead. Maybe that'll put Mitch McConnell in a better mood, because he looks like the Grinch every time I see him on television or in the newspapers. He looks just like the Grinch, right? Like, this guy has an attitude problem. Seriously, needs to cheer up, Okay, now where are we at? Devon had a question. So they added the extra money and extended it till March. Yep, that's what they did. They extended the extra unemployment boost money to the middle of March. Okay. Yes, you did. If you were on unemployment, then you lost 1 week because President Trump took so long to sign the bill. He didn't sign it till Sunday. They voted on it on Monday or Tuesday. So he took almost a week to sign. So everyone lost 1 week of unemployment money. And no, it's not retroactive either. It's not retroactive. Okay, Janelle saying, if it passes, it's possible the second or third week of January. Yeah, to get the check. If the $2,000 passes the Senate, yeah, it's possible to get it maybe the second or third week of January, because many sources are saying that the Senate plans on voting on a $2,000 check tomorrow. So if that's the case, if they plan on voting tomorrow, and you're talking about, maybe the second or third week of January, receiving a check. Okay, I guess we got some good news from our Restream bot. It says, congratulations to us, our channel. We have received 100 messages today in this live stream and Restream chat. So that's thanks to all of you that are here with us. So if you're here from Facebook, yeah, you definitely want to get on our YouTube channel and subscribe to our YouTube channel. And then once you subscribe, make sure you hit the bell notifications so you won't miss any of these stimulus check updates as we make them here on the channel. And give this video a like or thumbs up. If you're on Facebook, give this video a like, a thumbs up, and share this video. Share this video everywhere with your friends and your family also. Okay. Easy is bringing up something here. If Georgia wins both Senate seats on January 5th. Okay, I just want to recognize you there, Sonny G's Barbecue, that I see you, brother. And thank you for joining us, fam. I really appreciate your happy holidays. Sonny G says, yes, we did. If it wasn't for credit programs like yours telling us what we needed to do, it wouldn't have been possible at Janelle Leone. Hey, thank you for saying that, Sonny G's. Appreciate you. But EZ from YouTube is saying, this is one of our YouTube subscribers, if Georgia wins both Senate seats on January 5th, then we would definitely get $2,000 when Joe Biden takes office on January 20th. Senate Republicans will block the bill. Okay, it's possible we may get the 2,000, but it's no guarantee that we will get the 2,000. Okay, Joe Biden did come out today and he said that he agrees that we should get $2,000 stimulus checks. But that does not mean that he's going to push for $2,000 stimulus checks when he comes into office on the 21st of January. There's no guarantee of that. Okay. There's going to be some negotiations going on. They will have to be negotiations because even if the Democrats win both seats in the Senate on January 5th and they take over the majority control of the Senate, they will still need to negotiate with Republicans in order to pass a bill, unless they get enough Republicans on board to say yes votes to pass a bill. So I don't think there's a guarantee of that, but it is a possibility, though. I'd give you that. But thanks for bringing that up, Easy. Appreciate you. Okay, there's a question that no one has brought up yet. Joyce Jones says, I didn't get the first one or stimulus check. What about people with child support? They gave people that owe the IRS. Okay, now people, if you're on child support, they are treating the stimulus check. This new $600 stimulus check is going to be treated differently than they treated the first $1,200 stimulus check. In other words, when they gave us the first $1,200 stimulus check, some people told me that they did not get it because they owed child support. Okay. But if you owed the IRS, that was a different story. They did not take your stimulus check because I owed the IRS and they did not take my stimulus check at all. They didn't touch my stimulus check. Now they're treating the child support differently now with the $600 stimulus check. If you owe money to child support, you will still get your $600 check. And even if you owe money to the IRS, you will still get your $600 check. It would not affect your debt with the IRS or child support. Okay. This bill's treating it differently. So people, if you want me to put a copy of the bill into the description, just let me know and I will do so. Let me see if I could find it. Let me see if I could find the bill right now because I know I had it in my phone. Earlier I was looking at it. Oh, okay. The tech. Okay, that's what I need to be searching for. All right, let's see. Okay, here it is. Now, what about if I just like put this up on the screen so you guys can see it. How's that? I think I'll go ahead and do that. I think that would be a lot easier. Yeah, why don't I just go ahead and do that then? Okay, so I don't know. I don't think you guys can see that. I'm going to have to take chat off the screen for now to make it a little bigger. Okay. So there it is. The text of the $900 billion stimulus bill. That's the one that includes the $600 stimulus check. Okay, so it says see the text of the bill below. So they have the text of the bill here. I think what I'm going to do is blow it up bigger, a lot larger, so that way you guys can see it. If you can see the screen clearly, just go ahead and type the number 1 inside of the comments. Again, if you can see the screen clearly, just go ahead and type the number 1 inside the comments. So we have here, what do we have here? Rules Committee, print 116 to 68, text of the House amendment to the Senate amendment to HR 133. Okay, now this is, I don't believe that's the $900 billion one. Yeah, it is. That's what they're saying here. Okay. So you have 9 sections. Yeah, 7 titles. That's the way they're organizing it here. Divisions. The bill is separated by divisions. Okay, so you have Department of Labor, Health and Human Services, legislative branch appropriations. I mean, this bill is huge. Okay, it is huge, humongous bill here, over 5,000 pages long. Let's see if I can just get a link for you guys, and that way, what I'll do is I'll just put it in a chat here for you. Okay, what I'll do, I'll just put a link to this whole article here so you guys can check it out later on. Because this is really a monster of a bill here. I mean, you're talking 5,000 pages. I'm just going to throw this in the chat for you. So I'm going to open the chat back up again on the screen so you guys can see that again. But I mean, if you're interested in reading it or looking through it, I mean, there it is. Now let's see if we could put the chat back on the screen. Okay, that way we can keep track of these messages here. Okay, if I skipped you, just let me know. Okay, where are we at? Babak says, will the 300 unemployment retrograde from the time the payments ended? No, they won't retrograde. If the unemployment expired on the 26th, which was Saturday that just passed, and no, they will not retrograde. Everyone will lose 1 week of unemployment payment. All right.
You'll get the last payment.
Yeah. Yeah, you'll still get. You'll still get the last payment if you're owed the last payment for that week that ended. What was that? Ended the 26th. You will still get that week. Okay, now what else do we have here? EZ just bringing up a good point here. He says Trump, Mitch McConnell, and Senate Republicans playing games with people's lives. 333,000 passed away from the pandemic, evictions, and 8 months late. Yeah, that's right. 8 months later. That's sad, sad how a lot of these Republicans don't want to, help the American people, think it's so much of a problem to send people more money in stimulus checks, I don't see how anyone could think that way. I mean, about the American people. I mean, you really deserve it. You deserve that. No, that's your money. We've been paying all these taxes all these years, and now we're in a pandemic. Yeah, you deserve that money. What about garnish? Here's a good question. So Eugene Amos, thanks for bringing this up. What about garnishment? He's the first person that asked about this, besides the people that asked about the child support and if you owe money to the IRS. But garnishment, as far as I know, garnishment is not allowed in the $600 check. I don't think the bill allows anyone to garnish your $600 stimulus check. Okay, so I guess Janelle's telling me it's almost 10 o'clock. And I have so many comments to read, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to go down to, have one from YouTube here. Here's Dwayne from How to Build Credit TV. How's it going, fam? It's good to see you with us, and thank you for joining us. Really appreciate you. Everyone, if you're interested in learning more about building credit, Dwayne has a channel called How to Build Credit TV, and he does live streams every Monday, 7 p.m. Central Time on his channel. And if you're interested in learning how to build credit, you definitely want to go over there and subscribe. So thank you for joining us, Dwayne from How to Build Credit TV on YouTube. Yeah, I have to keep saying YouTube because there's a lot of people that's on here from Facebook. So that's why I have to keep saying YouTube. Okay, let's see. What have I done with the chat? Overlay chat. Okay, I don't see the chat on the screen anymore, but I guess when it shut the chat off, it takes a long time for it to pop back up and show on the screen again. EZ says elections have consequences of life or death. Yes, that's very true. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to kind of like skim through the comments really fast and see if I can get to this phone number that I had put up here on the screen. Did Dwayne put it up too?
On the YouTube one.
Okay, well, I can't seem to find that. I want to welcome Terrence Mooselips. Thank you for joining our live stream. Appreciate you from YouTube. Okay, where are we at? Okay, I'm going to just keep skimming through because what I want to do is get this information on the screen because it's really important. Oh, okay. So Catherine Yates put up some information here. I think it's John Cornyn. That's a senator, right? It's a senator, John Cornyn. I think you mean John Cornyn, I believe. I think his name is. He's from Texas. I believe that's the senator's phone numbers there. I think she's putting up there on the screen. So I just had to put that on the screen. Cornyn? I think it's Cornyn, John Cornyn.
Oh.
Yeah.
United States Senator.
Yeah, that's United States Senator. I guess that's his phone numbers there, contact phone number. So if you live in Texas, you need to contact your representative there in that state, in your state.
Texas.
Okay, he's in Texas, right.
He's Republican.
Okay, yeah, he's a Republican senator.
Oh God, right.
Okay, I'm trying to see this. I want to put up the phone number. Okay, Chambi is with us. Hey, Chambi, how's it going, brother? Chambi from one of our YouTube subscribers says, hello, my friends. Long time. Happy to be here. Thank you for joining us. Yeah, I want to put up a phone number there. Senator John Cornyn from the Dallas office. His phone number, if you live in Texas, Senator John Cornyn is one of your senators. And his number is 972-239-1310. That's 972-239-1310. Okay. All right. So I want to put that phone number on the screen that I found from the IRS. Okay. Diego Lopez says, when are the Senate's going to vote? Everyone's saying they're going to vote tomorrow. Okay. So thank you for joining us, Diego. I'm trying to get some of our YouTube comments from our YouTube subscribers because we've been doing reading off a lot of our Facebook fans messages comments. So we want to get some of the YouTube comments also. Okay, trying to go here through it. Yes, Toshio said, you guys think it's going to pass? Janelle, what do you think? You think it's going to pass? $2,000? Janelle says thumbs up. Me, like I said earlier, I believe that it will pass the Senate. Okay, even if we get only 1/3 of Republicans that say yes.
No, 2/3.
So no, we're not going to get 2/3 Republicans.
No, it said 2/3 of Republicans did pass, said yes at the House today.
2/3?
Yeah.
No way. I think you got it backwards there, Janelle. I think it's 2/3 of the Republicans said no.
Yes.
They said yes today. Wow, that's unbelievable. I can't believe that many Republicans actually said yes to us getting a $2,000 stimulus check. Wow, that's amazing. Okay, this is what I was looking for here. This is the phone number to get your first stimulus check. It's 800-919-9835. I just put it up there on the screen. I know I was searching for it for a long time, but finally found it. So if you did not get your first stimulus check, that's the number on the screen to call the IRS to find out what's going on with your first stimulus check. All right. So pretty much it's 9 o'clock. I don't know how long we've been on here, an hour and a half. 2 hours. Wow, we've been on here since 8 o'clock, 8 something. So yeah, it's going on 2 hours. So I want to thank all of you who have joined with us in this live stream today. Appreciate all of you. And oh yeah, here's the if you want to look at the bill and read the bill to find out what's in the bill, then this is the bill. This is the link to the bill. I just put it on the screen. So that way you guys can check it out later on. And I think what I might do is I might put a link to it in the description after this live stream is over. Stay Humble says, how much stimulus? Wow, a lot. And I don't know if you're talking about the total amount of the bill. They just passed $900 billion stimulus bill last week, Monday or Tuesday. It went past the House, past the Senate. Donald Trump signed it just Sunday evening. Stay Humble says, can you put the bill on the screen? Okay. Yeah, I could put that bill on the screen for you. Matter of fact, let me just go ahead and do that. I'm gonna take the chat off of the screen for just a second. Okay. Yeah, the bill is very long. People, stay humble. So I'm not going to read the whole entire bill. Okay, I'm not going to do that. It's just way too many pages to sit here and read. Okay, but I can skim through the bill. Right, they give you an overview of what it looks like. Okay, so Yeah, it's just too much. It's too many pages. I'm already on page 3, and the scroll has hardly moved any. Okay, now let's go further. Let's see, what page is this? 1000, page 1022. See what I mean? See how long this bill is? That's page 1428. Okay, I don't know if I'll ever be able to get to the end of this thing. This is just too much. Too much to read. Okay. Let's go to the end and see what page this is. Okay. Senate appropriation. Yeah, this bill is a monster of a bill. Okay, you got 3,125. So this is a lot of bill. It's a lot of bill. Okay, that they passed here. And this is dealing with the 900 billion COVID-19 relief package. Okay, there's another bill that Donald Trump also signed on Sunday evening, and that has to do with funding the government. Okay, funding the government. And between both of the bills, it comes out to over 5,500 pages. Okay, when you combine the bills together. So, yep, that's the bill for you. That's a lot of bill. Okay, let's see. All right, I'm just gonna try to get to one more of our subscribers here. Darius Franklin, welcome to the chat. Thank you for joining us. Darius is also one of our subscribers from YouTube. Darius says they should have gave us $2,000 stimulus check. We've been waiting over 9 months for some help. Welcome to politics. Yes, I agree 100%. And my words exactly, Darius. Yeah, people have been waiting over 9 months.
Yeah, 44 Republicans voted yes.
44 Janelle's telling me that 44 Republicans voted yes today in the House of Representatives, yes to the $2,000 stimulus check. Now, I think it's likely that this $2,000 stimulus check will pass the Senate. Why is that? Well, I believe so because the same people that started the negotiations for this $600 stimulus check bill and the other stimulus bills in the past and other bills that were passed through Congress, these people called the Problem Solvers Caucus, right? Problem Solvers Caucus consists of 25 Republicans, congressmen and women, and 25 Democrat congressmen and women. So you have half and half of each political party, of both major political parties, right? Which, when they come to any type of agreement on a deal, it is automatically bipartisan because they go back to Congress and they present both sides of what both parties want to be in the bill and what they don't want to be in the bill. And what they do is come to an agreement or a compromise, if you will, between the two parties, Democrats and Republicans. And that's what happened here. And that's part of why they were able to pass this stimulus bill with the $600 check in it. So I said that to say that the co-chair of that group, the Problem Solvers Caucus, had said and planned and came out publicly saying that they will vote yes on the $2,000 stimulus check today. And they did. And that person is a Republican. I believe his name is Tom Reed. If I may be wrong. If I'm wrong, correct me, because we went over this in yesterday's live stream. So now there's a lot of pressure on the Republicans in the Senate coming from Donald Trump, as well as coming from the Problem Solvers Caucus, coming from Joe Biden, coming from the American people also as well to pass these $2,000 stimulus checks. So I believe there's a good chance that these $2,000 stimulus checks will pass. Okay, people, and thank you so much for joining us. And how many people did we have in the chat today? How many people did we have on YouTube? Yeah, look on YouTube. I was curious. I always want to know how many people we had on YouTube. Okay, so thank you for joining us. If you're interested in stimulus check update information, definitely subscribe to our YouTube channel. The subscribe button is below the video, and hit the notification bell so you won't miss any videos as we make them here on the channel. Make sure that you share this video out to your friends and families. If you're on Facebook, also make sure you share this video out as well to your friends and your family also, so that they will receive it, they will get the news and the information. And from all of us here at the How to Get an 800 Credit Score family, stay safe, be blessed, and we'll see you in the next stimulus check update.
Good night.
Good night, and bye for now.